Today, we're going to be talking about Pulp Fiction. Let's begin.
Pulp Fiction is a 1994 film directed by Quentin Tarantino, in which Jules and Vincent, two gangsters who work for Marcellus Wallace, just kind of do their thing, and you follow them. It's a day in their life, except it's non-linear, because Tarantino thinks he's special.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer, this video does have spoilers. I'm sure you've already seen Pulp Fiction. If you haven't, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch it.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't love a lot of his movies. I think he's annoying in the way that he writes sometimes. But this early on, this is only his second movie. There's not much wrong with it, you know? Not much that I find annoying about his writing style that I can critique, you know? He is a good director, he just has some strange things about him, you know?
Let me just say this right off the bat. Quentin Tarantino is by no means the king of dialogue.
No.
I think the fact that he has that title is an abomination. It's been given to him by
So many people.
But why? For no reason. I don't think he deserves it. He said Royale with cheese in this, everyone sucked his dick over it, and now suddenly he's the king of dialogue. Like, yeah, it's good dialogue in this movie, but it's only good dialogue movies this.
I think it's just because so many people are bad, understandably, at writing mundane dialogue, you know? So when he does it at least slightly better than the average person, it's like, oh wow, he's so good.
But I think it's fantastic in this, but it's only fantastic in this.
Yeah, because even in like Reservoir Dogs, I find the conversations they have sometimes annoying.
Yeah, we have a buddy that loves the opening scene of Reservoir Dogs,
my God, he won't
which
shut
to
up
me
about
is
it.
it's such a boring scene.
It is. It's
like
really
it's an
boring.
unnecessary scene. Even you don't learn shit about those characters. They're just talking. It's the same in this. What makes it good in this one is it's hilarious.
Yes.
It's very funny conversation, and this one's actually going to be, useful later on, where they're talking about Marcellus Wallace and his wife Mia.
Yeah.
And then obviously later on, everything happens between Vincent and Mia.
Yeah. The ethics of tipping never come back in Reservoir Dogs. You know.
Exactly. So it's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, his dialogue's good in this, but Tarantino is, in my opinion, the most overrated filmmaker of all time.
I agree.
That being said, though, I love this movie.
Yeah. It's a basic ass take, but man, I cannot help but really, really like this movie. It is so good.
Well, you say it's a basic ass taste. I think that it is so highly regarded because it is such a good movie.
Yeah.
First, we have the diner scene,
yeah,
which we're going to come back to in the very end. Bro, I just don't care about them. I'll be so real.
Really?
It's boring. It's annoying. The payoff at the end is dumb.
Really?
Yeah, they're talking about, robbing banks, robbing stores, this and that. Hey, why don't we rob places like this? Everyone get the fuck down. Okay, whatever.
I think it's a good intro.
But, I don't know. I think it should have opened with... I think that shouldn't have been there at all.
Really?
Yeah. I guess at the end it's fine because it's, Jules' kind of retirement. It signifies that. But I guess it sets the tone. Like, look, this is a crime movie.
And I guess in the grand scheme of the story, unlike the other stories that wrap around, there's no reason for it to be in the intro, you know? You know, it could just be at the end, they're in a diner that gets robbed.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be.
The only reason that I think it opens with this is because it only comes back at the very end, and Tarantino thinks he's special for doing it like
to be
that.
The bookends type of thing.
He's like, oh, look, I'm going to do this in the beginning and at the end, and they're not going to realize. And then they're going to find the Easter egg of Vincent walking past them in the very beginning.
I didn't know that, does he?
It's true.
I didn't know that.
He does, but it's... Here's the thing, people think that that's so genius, but they filmed those two in the same fucking day, so obviously, whatever, bro. People don't understand how movies are made. I sound like such a film major, by the way.
You did.
It's true.
The real intro, though...
After that, it gets very good.
It gets insanely good, because you're dropped immediately into, like we said, good dialogue of just Jules and Vincent talking, But you're immediately hooked, because I think you immediately have the Royale with cheese discussion, which is funny, That whole scene is great, of just them talking in the car. It's amazing. Then it goes into them in the apartment, and they're talking more. They're talking about rubbing feet, and how that means a lot more than Vincent may think,
Well, what's your... than Jules may think?
Oh, than Jules may think? You're right.
What do you think about the rubbing feet?
I mean, maybe that guy shouldn't have been thrown out the window. If he was, we don't know.
If he was,
that's all we heard. But I think it does mean something. Maybe
it does mean something.
It does mean something. It's insane that John Travolta did not do much after this.
Yeah, well, his career was kind of plummeting. He'd done Grease and stuff like that.
Yeah, he had done Grease and he was in Carrie in the 70s.
Yeah, but then, it just started kind of falling off. And this was kind of his comeback role.
Yeah.
Which he did great in.
Yeah.
But then did his career really recover?
No, not really.
No, it's sad to see.
Unfortunate.
He's good in this.
He's amazing in this.
He's an odd guy, though.
Yeah. After that, you get the scene in the apartment where they kill a bunch of the guys and take Marvin.
Yeah. Well, they kill him eventually. But,
yes.
they kill the first guy.
Yes. All the dialogue there, it's good. It's good.
I think Jules's Bible verse reading is chilling.
It is.
And you just know that he's going to kill him at the end of it.
Oh
but
my God.
It builds suspense very well.
The mix of that with him jokingly going, "That is a tasty burger," is so good,
It looks like such a good burger, dude. Big Kahuna burger.
Big Kahuna burger, You gotta get 5 guys.
We do. we are introduced to Butch, aren't we? Where Marcellus Wallace talking to Butch because you have the Band-Aid in the back of his neck.
That's a strange scene. I don't want to say it feels out of place. It's just slow after that whole scene before it,
Yeah, Butch's character is definitely a contested one. I feel like one of our friends just didn't really like Butch's character.
Yeah, he said it.
He said that entire part brought the movie down.
It worked on its own, but it felt out of place. But I mean, me and you both agree. We think it works as it's a cool idea to have an entire contained story in the middle of this other story.
And it adds to it as well. It all connects. That's what's cool about this.
And I have an opinion as to which story I like more. It's easily Jules and Vincent and Mia. I like that a lot more.
Yeah.
They're both entertaining though. So I understand having liking one over the other, but I think it still works in the whole movie's favor.
Well, you can't kill Vincent without having Butch.
Exactly. After our introduction of Butch, you get the whole story with Mia and Vincent, which is great. Probably my favorite section of the movie, honestly, as a whole. I think it's so good. It can drag a little bit in, maybe when they're talking in the diner. I think a little bit of that is unnecessary.
Yeah, it does. But I think it's necessary because, first of all, we've already been warned that you don't fuck with Mia. Because if you do, Marcellus Wallace is going to destroy you.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Mia says that it's not true necessarily.
Yeah.
But, we're scared of it and we're wary of flirting with Mia. But there is such a clear sexual chemistry there between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I think it builds that up, and that's why it's a long conversation scene.
And then after they go to dinner, like you said, the clear chemistry between them, when they waltz in the door, I felt such a strong, oh my God, that's so, yes, but also I was terrified because I'm like, if they do anything, because I didn't remember if they did anything.
You didn't?
Yeah. How do you feel when they're in the car right before they enter the restaurant? She goes, "Don't be a
oh my
square."
God.
How did you feel about that?
Bro, he wants to be edgy, bro. That's the problem with Tarantino. He thinks he's the shit, right?
Yeah, because I didn't remember that at all.
It is truly, truly one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
It's so weird. There's so much bullshit about this movie, but the good stuff outweigh it so much.
It's so funny because in a different movie, that could work. It's just not this movie, though.
No, that's the thing. I hate the guy that made it, but I love the movie. It's a rectangle. It's not even
It is a rectangle, yeah. But yeah, the dinner scene is good.
Yeah, the dancing is fun.
The dancing is fun. There's a reason it's iconic. You know, the reason a lot of this movie is iconic. Like we said earlier, the Bible verse. It's all so well acted.
It is. Yeah, very, very much so.
Yeah.
Then they go back, and this is where we feel the first bit of real tension.
Yeah,
is when
it
Mia
feels real.
Snorts the powdered heroin.
Yeah.
And ODs, obviously. When you watched it for the first time, what do you think? Do you think she was gonna
die? Yeah, because that's how, you're set up to think oh my God, someone already died because of Marcellus Wallace off screen, and now they're going to go kill someone again for Marcellus Wallace. Oh shit, his wife's dying on his hands. I thought she was gonna die. Obviously, this time I didn't. I knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, I fully expected her to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess we forgot to talk about Vincent buying the heroin.
Oh yeah, that's a good scene.
That's not important. Then he goes back to that house.
Yeah.
Where they have the big ass needle.
Yeah.
that they put
Well, first
in
of all,
her heart.
I want to point out, because my mom always quotes the scene when he calls his buddy. It's Eric Stoltz on the phone. I forget who the name of his character is, but it's Eric Stoltz. And he figures out that Vincent is calling him on a cell phone. And he's like, "What? Are you calling me on a cell phone? Prank caller! Prank caller!" And he hangs up, and then immediately Vincent crashes into his house.
Oh my goodness,
It's so funny.
It really
so
is.
So funny. My mom always yells out the, "Prank caller! Prank caller!"
Yeah, thank God she lives, man.
Yeah.
Because I liked her. She's funny.
Yeah, the beat of tension when it zooms in on the little dot on her chest and then the needle is crazy. And just the sound it makes when it's boom! He doesn't even like put the plunger in.
Yeah.
She just wakes up immediately, and man, I'm not, rough around needles. I'm not scared of them, but it is such a visceral feeling of like, ooh, you feel that,
Yeah, so after the date that ended quite badly, we see Christopher Walken.
Surprise performance.
Bro, he might have the best performance in this movie. The guy is fantastic.
It's so funny. There's one line where he really does the pronunciation that people joke about him for, but it's still such a good performance.
Yeah.
Such a funny performance too.
Uh-huh.
When he says that he carried the watch in his ass and so did Butch's father, it's so funny. And it's just 2 shots, It's just him talking for a long time. And the kid, I don't know how they got that kid to look like fucking Butch. It's insane.
It looks so much like him, yeah.
It does. It's crazy. But yeah, good scene. Very good scene. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it.
Yeah.
We're just introduced to the gold watch.
Yeah.
Why it's important.
And then immediately into Butch's story. And the first part of that, the lighting is so interesting. It feels almost like a noir movie, You get this shady boxer who might have killed someone, this mysterious cab driver who's asking how it feels to kill a man. All the lighting is dark because it's at night, And then he's smoking a cigarette in the back with his hand bandages. It's such a crazy feeling for this movie.
I did not remember that scene at all.
No, I didn't either.
It's going to be so real when we watch it again.
It is a
in
cool
theaters. That's
scene,
why
though.
I kind of saw it again for the first time.
It is very cool, though.
It is a cool scene. They did the old Hollywood car
Yes,
thing
that
in
was
the back.
interesting.
I found that annoying.
Really?
Yeah, he's just trying to be edgy again. Like, why not just tell the story properly? Like, there's all these dumb references in it, like the racist cartoon, for example, is one of them.
That's crazy.
Like, there's all these references that's just like, whatever. Yeah, wow, you did old Hollywood in the car. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's annoying. It's cool, but it's annoying.
Yeah, I think it's a little charming, but I would agree it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
And then his wife, talking to his wife.
I like the wife. She's a funny character.
Great. She forgets the gold watch, though, and he needs to go back for that in the morning, He throws a fit, and this is...
so funny how he says, my dad... it's a long story.
Yeah. He
It's a long story. I'll tell you another.
Yeah, I love where he goes, I clearly did not stress how important that watch is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe that's a little bit of why our friend said at first, I don't really fucking care about Butch, but like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, sure, he throws some shit. He's like, oh shit, I scared my wife. I don't want to do that. Like he's a good guy. He just is angry. He doesn't throw anything at her or anything. She's just scared, rightfully so.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. He fucking throws the TV across the room, which is bad. But then he's really like, you know what? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Even though later he does say it is our fault. But whatever. But yeah, good scene.
Yeah, and then he goes back home into the apartment. He knows someone's there because he finds the fucking weapon. Vincent comes out of the bathroom.
Hilarious. The beat with that is hilarious, where they just freeze. It's so funny. Yeah.
And he's killed.
Yeah.
Vincent dies.
Yeah. In
chronological order after Jules has already retired.
Like you said, I guess this is a good time to bring up my thoughts on the non-linearity. It, like you said, it's just like to be different. It doesn't need to be like this.
Okay.
I think maybe it does need to be like this because I don't think the whole Mia story and then right after the whole Mia and Marvin in the car story. right into completely separate Butch story maybe wouldn't have worked as well, you know?
No. I
But
think
it's
it
just
adds something to it.
It does, but it's also annoying sometimes.
Yeah, but this way it's violence after violence after violence.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
is set up at first,
Yeah.
and then the second half is just pure death and murders.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's at least interesting. It poses an interesting idea for the movie. It makes it unique.
Yeah.
It's annoying sometimes, but I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see how it has merit.
Yeah, so he kills Vincent, which is crazy.
Crazy.
People got upset about it. Bro, Vincent's a bad guy. It's fine.
They're all bad people.
Exactly. Like,
the only like good people are maybe like his wife, Butch's wife. You know.
maybe, yeah, but she doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's I don't care.
The scene after is hilarious when he sees Marcellus Wallace.
Okay, that's hilarious. That part
It's
is.
so fucking funny. When he just runs him over, and then Marcellus Wallace accidentally kills a random woman. That's crazy.
My God. He runs into the pawn shop.
Oh my god, I forgot about all of that.
And they're fighting, and then when he's about to shoot, the guy says, "Oh shit, you can't kill anyone in my store."
One of the most famous scenes in the movie, for obvious reasons, notorious scenes, infamous scenes.
The only scene that Tarantino did right.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that other guy.
It was the other little dickhead with the long hair.
That's
yeah. I mean, Roger Avery adds this.
strange.
What a weird ass guy.
Strange to add this. I mean, I think it's a well shot scene. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good scene, but it is disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's just so unnecessary.
It's
too.
also, I'm not gonna lie, like the katana thing doesn't fit.
No.
The katana, it's just like, oh man, what's a cool weapon he can use?
Yeah.
You know, maybe if he used like his fist or something because he's a boxer, it would be a good like, you know, parallel or something. Marcellus Wallace, pretty crazy that you see more of it than you think you would.
Yeah, God. And I mean, listen, I understand that there has to be something, a scene where Marcellus forgives
Yeah.
Butch.
Yeah.
But it does not have to be like that.
It's crazy that it's like this. It makes sense that it would be through this, saving him from, you know, this.
But I think showing rape in a movie is crazy.
It is crazy. It's genuinely one of the only things that disturbs me in a movie.
No, I don't think it should be in the movie.
It could have been done in much different ways.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The Gimp is funny though.
The Gimp is very funny.
The Gimp
I'm
is
fine with
hilarious.
The Gimp, yeah.
I love how many doors there are to the Gimp's little like fucking hole. Like they put the floor up, then like a gate, and then like another gate, and then like wood. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just for this like guy who's like you can't see anything of him. Yeah. The chopper. The chopper's cool. Zed's chopper. And he rides back, and that's the end of his story. He meets with his wife, and that's what That's what I was saying earlier. I think the payoff to that, where his wife is so confused, you know, and she's like, I just want like some answers, you know. She doesn't say that, but you can tell she's like, I just want to know something of what you did, you know. Yeah. Why my Subaru is gone or my Toyota or whatever it is.
Why your nose is broken.
And then she starts crying, you know. I really felt bad there.
Yeah, you feel bad for her, dude.
Exactly.
She's innocent. She's sweet. She doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine it's scary.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful payoff to that story, you know. And then they ride off, and we don't know anything about him, which is cool.
Yeah, they leave Los Angeles, never to return.
Yeah, and then you get, in my opinion, the worst third of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, you get the wrap up of Jules and Vincent.
Well, that part of it is fun.
That part of it is fun
because they kill the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
Did they ever kill the guy on the couch?
Yes, they do.
They don't show it.
He shoots him a few times.
Do they?
Yes, they show it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After that, you get what I think is the funniest joke in the movie, is when they accidentally kill Marvin in the back of the car, and the sheer like mundane quality of the line when Vincent goes, "Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face." It's so funny. That is so funny. Unfortunately, though, it leads directly into the worst scene in the movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the worst, easily with the worst performance. Because that's when we get, they take it to a guy, they take the car to the guy's house, and it's a cameo by the director.
No, yeah.
You know, and it's awful. It's genuinely terrible. Like, he's just an awful actor, and he only wrote it so he could say the N-word a bunch.
Yeah, it's unfunny, out of place, terribly acted, racist.
It is.
It is just unnecessary.
Yeah.
He wanted to say the word, so he wrote himself saying it, hard R, 4 times.
I wouldn't even say that, like, Tarantino's a racist person. It's just, like, he does racist shit because he thinks it's, like, cool.
It's weird to do. It's a weird thing to add, and he didn't do it well.
You're just saying it to say it, you know? Like, why?
What's the point? Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, terrible scene.
Awful.
Yeah, the wife's gonna come, so they gotta get rid of it.
His wife, who is obviously black, he made his wife black in the movie.
And then, what's the guy's name? Wolf?
The wolf, yeah.
Wolf comes, helps him out. I like him. You guys didn't like him as much. I think he's good.
You know, I like Harvey Keitel. I like him in Reservoir Dogs a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And he's in Bad Lieutenant, which is great. But in this, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to introduce in the last, like, third of the movie. I think he's funny. He's very funny as, like, he drives so incredibly fast.
Yeah, he's quick, he's choppy, he's witty, and he makes it happen.
It's interesting, but it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Because I already had a sour taste in my mouth from Tarantino. And I'm in the last third of the movie where I'm like, damn, this is a longer movie than I remembered. And then they introduce another character. He's not in it for long. But when I heard that they were introducing another character that I forgot about, I was like, oh my god. But the wolf's not bad. He's not bad overall.
No, he's fine.
Yeah.
And then we're back in the diner. We talked about this in the beginning.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's Jules's final thing.
I think
that he does.
I think it's cool how he's talking down the robbers, you know? It's cool how he takes charge and almost, like, where he's, like, comforting the girl, Honey Bunny.
Honey Bunny.
Yeah, which is how they're credited, which I think is funny.
Is it? That's good.
They're credited as Honey Bunny and whatever the other one is, Tim Roth. But yeah, it honestly gets kind of boring.
Yeah.
When he's just talking to Tim Roth and the girl, you know, it's like, just wrap it up, you know. But I don't know. I like before that. I like seeing Jules and Vincent talk, like we talked about. But yeah, the whole scene is just it's whatever, you know.
Yeah, it just drags and it gets boring.
It really does.
And then the movie's done, and honestly, unfortunately, when the movie's done, you get this feeling of thank God.
Yeah.
Instead of damn, that was awesome. Obviously, you get that because you know it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you're also like, okay, finally it's done.
Yeah, because it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and when I first watched it, I think I gave up before the final diner scene because I was like, this is so long, and I was much younger. I had a different attention span than I do now. But I gave up. I was like, this is so boring.
Interesting.
I'm glad I finished it. You know, at a certain point, but it is so long. It's a good movie overall. It's well written. I think probably his most well written. It's his most tight, I think. Awards
wise, I don't know about anything other than the Oscars. For the Oscars, it was nominated for 7 awards. It won one of them. It was obviously writing, original screenplay. It got nominated for picture. Editing is the other one.
Oh, okay.
And then supporting actor, actress, director, and main actor.
I would give this movie a solid, I'm going to say 7.9, but I'm going to round it up to an 8. An 8.
You have it at 4.5 on Letterboxd.
No, I don't.
You have it at 4?
Yeah, I have it at 4.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, I have it at 4. So an 8 out of 10. I think that's totally fair. Yeah, what about you?
Look, listen, I'm hard on this movie because I dislike Tarantino.
Yes, same.
Fundamentally. But after I look past some of the things that annoy me and look at what's good about the movie, I think it outweighs what I find annoying so much. And I can't wait for us to do the ranking Tarantino.
Yes, that'll be so fun.
Because I will have few positive things to say.
Yeah.
But this movie for me is an 8.9.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it is incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
And most of it is done very well, and it's paced well, I think.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.9 is my rating.
8.9, nice. 8.9 out of an 8. Go watch Pulp Fiction. I'm guessing you already have, but if you haven't, go watch it. It's a classic for a reason. Subscribe.
Or
Bye.
don't. It's up to you guys.